We're kind of unique in Monmouth County in that we have the second largest number of school districts in the state of New Jersey, Bergen being first, Monmouth County being second. We have 51 operating districts, and as Carole said, 31 of those are K-8s. And the uniqueness of Monmouth County itself, you know, the shore area, the interior area. So when Carole is looking at the various studies of combining school districts, we have to take geographical information, socioeconomic, educational opportunities for children, transportation issues, wealth of the districts and wealth of the communities. So many of those factors have to come together before a formal regionalization study can be done.
Well, let me ask you, Joe, one of the principal concerns that you hear is that consolidation will lead to higher taxes for some people and maybe lower taxes for others. But how do you address the impact of regionalization on property taxes?
Okay, let's begin with the non-operating districts. In putting the non-operating district with an operating district, one of the major concerns that was, as you said, was the taxes that people would pay. And the whole idea was to make sure that this would be tax neutral, because you could never combine districts in such a manner that you would always get a winner and a loser. So in doing that combination, when you put districts together, and this is going to happen when we consolidate the rest of the districts in Monmouth County over the course of time, you take a look at the enrollments. You can either base the taxes upon 100% enrollment or 100% equalized value, or a combination thereof. And in our studies, we're taking a look at which combination best suits the district so the tax impact is not burdensome to both districts.
And that would be true of the debt burden as well.
The same thing that way, yes.
So it sounds like you're going to have to look at every single situation individually.
Oh, yes, yes.
And you have the flexibility to kind of make recommendations that are specific to the situation.
Oh, yes, yes, absolutely.
And what about salary guides? How would that issue be addressed? Because, you know, a lot of times you hear, well, if school districts merge, you know, whoever's paying more to teachers or paying more in benefits, we move to that guide. Is that something that you have the power to take a look at and address as well?
Yes.
Well, yeah,
and that,
we do.
In some ways, is misleading, because the actual requirement is that it go to the largest district, whichever district has the larger population of employees.
For the first year, that salary guide is the guide you will use, and then you will adopt a new salary guide. And
so ultimately, the catchword is, and what you're going to look at is tax neutrality, in essence, to be tax neutral on either of any of the districts that you're merging.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to take a short break. Please stay with us for more about public school consolidation here at Outlook Monmouth.
Prevention First is a nonprofit agency in Monmouth County that offers educational programs dedicated to strengthening the foundation of our children's lives. Please call 732-663-1800.
Welcome back to Outlook Monmouth. I'm your host, Armen McOmber. If you're just joining us, we're talking about school consolidation with Carole Morris, Executive County Superintendent of Schools, and Joe Passiment, Executive County School Business Administrator, both from Monmouth County. Carole, critical issue in school consolidation. How do you address issues of local control, downsized administration, and the possible increase in class sizes? These are things you hear about when you hear about school consolidation that people are concerned about. Will consolidation adversely impact on education?
Well, the issue of local control is probably one of the biggest that we have to address. It has a long, deep-rooted history in New Jersey. It's not just in the educational area. It's in the local municipalities, police force, fire companies. You know, when you look at all of the duplication of all services in New Jersey of any kind, it immediately tells you, I'm sure, to an outsider how very, very strong local control is. And it's an emotional issue. We found it to be very emotional when we were out talking with people, boards of education, and the public. The only thing that we have urged them to do is to wait and look at the results of the feasibility studies, where we can look at the issue objectively, because many of the assumptions, and you've mentioned a couple of them, are not going to be necessarily proven when the studies are done. For instance, it does not automatically mean that class sizes are going to increase. In order to increase those class sizes, we would have to be closing buildings all over the county, and that does not look right now to be feasible at all. Most of our buildings are being used at complete capacity, and they would not be closed randomly just to be able to move students all over the county. That's not what we're looking at, what we're intending to do. So many of the assumptions and criticisms that are there are not valid in that respect. You'd have to look at the individual districts that are going to merge, what the plan for those particular districts is actually going to be, and whether or not it affects many of the existing conditions that are already there in that school. For instance, just recently I was at a district that was the parents very, very upset over the possibility of their students having to ride a bus because they've never been bused. Well, that's not necessarily an automatic result of merging the districts. They may still go to that neighborhood school, and if they live in that community, they may not ever have to get on a bus. On the other hand, there are school children all over the county that have never done anything but ride a bus. And so, those are individual, unique situations we have found in most districts that exist that create some of the immediate resistance to this idea.
Right. And we have to get over the preconceived notion that automatically combining School A and School B together means one of those districts loses their schools.
Well, and that is the thought.
Right, and that's not the case. And also, when you combine school districts together, there are some advantages. There are athletic programs that may be advantageous now because you have a greater population. Extracurricular activities, advanced courses, technology. So there are a variety of things. As we said in the earlier segment, we're taking a look at every aspect of the educational programs that are out there when we're looking to combine school districts. Yes, are there going to be some savings in administration? The answer is yes. If you combine two districts together, you don't need two central office administrations any longer. So yes, there will be some savings